Good old raisins and peanuts. All right, so everybody, you want to introduce yourselves? I'm Pittsburgh Pat. I'll be the DM and the NPCs today. And let's start with Ruth. She was here first. Ruth, who are you playing today?
Hi, my name is Ruth, and I am playing Dorothy today.
Very nice. Love the background.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. I was thinking that too.
I'm going to use that on all my Zoom meetings. All right. Craig.
Hey, yes. Hey, I'm Craig. Guess I'll be playing a flying monkey today.
Okay. Anne.
Hi, I'm Anne, and I'm playing the Good Witch and the Lion.
All right. That sounds like fun. All right. So before we start, Craig, do you want to, since we had someone who was going to play the Wicked Witch, since that's not happening, you can decide which side you want to play on. If you want to be part of the party and play a maybe rebellious monkey that's sided with Dorothy and the Lion, you could do that.
I was kind of thinking that and how that would happen. So I have some ideas on as the story goes, I think. Yeah.
All right, good. Cool. Excellent. So we could do that. And then all right. Shall we begin? Very good. So here's the setting. The setting is Thursday night, Pittsburgh. There is a very large cold front coming through. Massive clouds late in the afternoon, so humid. And it looks green, like the sky looks like this devilish greenish gray, Actually, this is Kansas.
Like
Same thing happens during a tornado.
Yeah.
It was very tornado looking like here the other night.
Yeah.
And the storm front came through very quickly. But this time in Kansas in 1936, the winds are so fierce that Dorothy runs into her house for shelter, but is lifted off its foundation and cast into the air and lands with a sudden thump. I love it. Dorothy, what do you do?
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. I exit the house and am just blown away by all of the color, which I've never seen before. I've only ever seen sepia and white.
Black and white. Yeah.
We must be over the rainbow.
Somewhere.
It's hard not to do that.
I look around. What do I see?
Well, what you see is, do you remember the movie Close Encounters? The very famous scene where the young boy goes towards the door and there's light creeping through like the edges of the door. So you see Technicolor lights sort of seeping into the darkness of your room. And as you open the door, your eyes are bedazzled by full Technicolor, such as never been seen in motion picture history to this point. But no, you see a wonderful scene with all the colors of the prism. I think, okay, so those who are following the prism, you can go ahead and start your version of Dark Side of the Moon now. So we have, you have purple flowers and blue skies, radiant greens in the landscape, and you have this curious looking yellow brick. Your house has come down. There seems to be no one stirring about, though, which is curious. Looks like you're in the center of town, but nothing's happening.
My goodness. We're definitely not in Kansas anymore, Toto. There's no one here. Hello?
Toto runs out the door and roll an investigation check. Well, roll a perception check. I'm going to roll one for Toto.
Perception. Do I have perception?
Perception's wisdom.
Okay. So 8.
Yeah. Do you roll a dice?
I rolled an 8.
Oh, you rolled an 8.
Yes.
Oh, I thought your wisdom was 8. My fault. So good. So yeah, Toto is barking at a particular shrub and it seems to be moving now.
Um,
And I just got some feedback from your iPhone, I think.
I
Say
just
something,
turned
Ann.
Are we okay?
Okay, better. Okay, I don't know what that was.
Arthur!
Good. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, Dorothy. I interrupted the action.
not at all. So I look closer at the bush. Is someone hiding there?
There is someone hiding there. You see a rather short-statured person in a purple suit from top to bottom, and they emerge very reluctantly, very cautiously from the bush, and they say to you, "My goodness, you've killed the wicked witch."
Killed the wicked witch. Whatever do you mean? I was just in Kansas and a tornado hit and swooped the house up, and here I am. Here's where we landed. What do you mean I killed a witch?
You see more shrubbery moving, and now there is dozens of the denizens of this fine town that are emerging, and they're all in very color coordinated suits. They're all probably about around 3 to 3.5 feet tall, and off in the distance you see a glowing pink orb that is growing larger and smells like Love's Baby Soft, and it's heading quite right in your direction. It becomes human-sized, and with a mighty pop, you're overwhelmed with the scent of that nostalgic cologne.
Oh my.
And as Glinda, what would you like to do?
Would like to know who killed the wicked witch.
Well, these
It was an
wonderful
accident.
little people have told me that I have killed the witch, but I don't see how I could have.
Greg, what's the name of your character?
Oh,
Oh, okay. So
Captain.
you're present. What's
Oh.
the name? I'm sorry, did you say a name?
Just call me Captain, I guess.
Captain?
He's the captain of the guards.
Oh, gotcha. All right, great. All right.
So
So
I'm
you're
present. All
present
right.
as well.
So,
and-
yeah, all right. Cool. I'm sort of hanging out by and just completely appalled at the my squashed mistress, I guess, master.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Got it.
And I'd imagine the short people are kind of keeping a distance from me.
Yeah, you haven't been noticed by the short people. You're kind of off to
Okay.
yourself at this point. They're overwhelmed by the giant pink orb that flew in and the appearance of a witch in taffeta and this kind of spiky crown with a very big stick with a large lollipop-looking star on top of it.
Well, I'm going to avoid her.
As you should. So
And who are you? And who are you, pretty pink lady?
I am Glenda, and I am the good witch.
You're
And
a
I
witch,
welcome you to Oz.
but
Thanks
witches,
for killing my sister.
Thank you for
but
killing me.
witches are old and ugly.
Not me, baby. You want to get witchy?
Witchy woman, yeah.
Well, I certainly don't belong here. Does anyone know the way back to Kansas?
I know the way back to Kansas. But you need to take a journey. And the journey involves traveling through many, many wonderful and sometimes terrifying places. You must follow a path, a distinct path that is carved in yellow stone. It is called the Yellow Brick Road. And we're going to a place called the Land of Oz.
Oz. That sounds awfully daunting. I'm not sure I'll be able to get there by myself. Would you come with me?
I don't know if I have the time to actually go with you, darling. I'm very busy. But I do have quite a few friends in the realm, and we will guide you safely there. I will watch over you.
Goodness, I can't thank you enough, ma'am.
You are so very welcome, Dorothy. Welcome, welcome to your new home, at least for a moment.
No, my home's in Kansas. I definitely want to go back there. Who is that little creature that's lurking? He doesn't look like the other little creatures. He's got wings and a tail.
And looks kind of nasty. But I'm sort of glancing down at and pushing the legs that aren't moving anymore, and looking at you, and not the brightest bulb in the bunch, I think, from the stats. So I'm figuring that you're stronger than she was, so I'm gonna sort of follow you.
Okay.
So I'm just sort of like hesitantly coming over and
Did you
tip
know
my
that?
hat at you.
Did you know this witch that I guess I killed?
Yeah, I'd make emotions like affirmative, yes.
Okay, you were with her. Was she good to you? Did you like her?
Not particularly.
Okay, well maybe you should come with us. Maybe you'd be safer with us.
Sure. That
A grand idea indeed, Dorothy.
Now, I'm assuming at some point I see these legs sticking out from underneath this house.
Sure. Roll
yeah.
yeah.
well, I was kind of poking at them too, and they're not moving, so
Gotcha. So you notice that there are these absolutely brilliant red slippers you've never seen before. These red shoes that are just, I mean, as the rest of the landscape is fully in color, they still of any object in like your field of vision, they definitely attract your eye.
My, those are a pretty pair of shoes. I don't have anything quite like that. Mine are all brown and worn. Is there any chance, would anyone object if I took those shoes?
I think you should wear those shoes. They would match your outfit beautifully. And they have magic powers.
And so the ruby slippers become mine.
Just then, a pillar of billowing reddish brown smoke appears in the center of the square. And to your eyes, there, out of the smoke emerges this figure in black robes with green skin and a very tall, pointy hat. And she says, "Who killed my sister? And where are her lovely red slippers? I demand to know." The mayor of Munchkin Land steps up and says, "We didn't have anything to do with it.
Monkey steps to the back.
It was her."
Well,
Hey,
I certainly didn't mean to kill your sister, ma'am. I understand that's probably pretty tragic, but at this point, I just want to get out of here and go home. So you don't need to mess with me.
She was
I'll be
my
out of here.
only sister. And you have taken what is rightfully mine. I can see you are wearing her shoes, and I want them back.
Well, they don't seem to come off. I mean, you can take them off if you want.
She leans down and tries, but there is a violent orange shower of sparks, yellowish orange, golden shower of sparks as she tries to. She says, "Person, I should have known. I forgot. How could I forget? There's only one way I can get those slippers off you, and that's after you have stopped living."
Well, that doesn't work for me.
She
No.
looks around and she noticed that that the good witch Glinda is here. And she also notices that there's a lot of people who don't seem to be particularly sad that her sister is dead. And so she decides, well, this isn't the last time we're going to meet, my dearie. And in a billowing puff of smoke, she's gone. A great gasp comes from the crowd of munchkins, and they all kind of run towards you and say, one of them in particular says, "Thank you so much for freeing us from the Wicked Witch of the East. But now the Wicked Witch of the West is here. What are we going to do? Whatever are we going to do?" Seems to be great consternation in the crowd. The mayor steps up. "We should welcome Dorothy. She has rid us of the tyranny of the Wicked Witch of the East, and we should wish her well on the journey that the good witch Glinda has bestowed upon her. So we should give her every courtesy and lead her to the beginning of the path that she has to come on. She must traverse." So they take you in song and you and Toto into this kind of circular area where there's a spiral that looks like the very beginning of the Yellow Brick Road starts. You are welcome to ask for equipment, anything that you would like.
Well, I'm very thirsty. Does anyone have a canteen I might have?
Oh, that's a good idea. The mayor says, "Bring Dorothy a canteen." And this little person, I think is the right phrase to use these days, comes up and he's got a green suit on with a green bow tie, and he kind of like comes up to you with this kind of weird looking dance, and he gives you this canteen and says, "We represent the Waterbearer Guild, the Waterbearer Guild, the Waterbearer Guild." It gives you the canteen. "Thank you for freeing us from the Wicked Witch."
Thank you very much, kind sir.
He bows and retreats.
And I've got my basket, and I don't know, do I need much else?
Don't forget Toto.
Well, Toto's always my trusty companion and always with me.
Maybe he needs some dog food.
Good point.
Maybe you need a snack.
Well, there's an apple orchard up the street, so you could always check that out.
Yeah, we'll collect apples.
Okay. So, in a great chorus of song, they lead you to the beginning of the path, and you can take it from there.
So I just follow the yellow brick road. Follow the
Yellow Brick Road.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Follow the Yellow Brick Road.
And
Follow the Yellow Brick Road.
let's see.
Because.
I'm scrambling along behind.
And
So before you go, the mayor intimates that there is at the end of the Yellow Brick Road, there is a city. It's called the Emerald City, for reasons that you will find out later. And it's occupied by a great wizard who may be able to help you figure out how to get home. He knows
okay.
many things.
Is
He
he-
probably would be a good person to ask.
Is he good or is he wicked?
Oh, he's good. He's very good. He's probably the best man that we know.
Okay, but what happens if Glinda disappears?
I don't know. Is Glenda still here?
I am here overseeing everything. Dorothy, perhaps you should begin your journey unless you
Alright.
need anything else.
I don't think so. I'm gonna start heading down follow the yellow brick road.
All right. Does the monkey follow as well?
I follow along behind. Yeah.
All right. Great. Does Glinda fade away into a giant cotton candy colored bubble?
Glenda is fading away into her cotton candy bubble, and she will oversee all of the goings on and make sure that Dorothy finds her way home.
Very good. All
Why
right.
does it come and go so quickly here?
I know, it's amazing. It's almost like magic. Except it's real.
It's wonderful.
It's wonderful. It's the wonderful Wizard of Oz. So yes, the wonderful land of Oz is starting to you're being waved goodbye by the citizens as you cross the borders of the town, Munchkin Land, and then you can see wonderful looking fields ahead of you. Just beautiful little flowers, very green grass, little picket fences. It's a wonderful little landscape. And then you come to a place where there's a grove of trees, and you can hear birds. You were hearing bird song, but now you actually roll a perception check. We'll see what you hear.
3.
14. Oh, her.
Yeah, you can roll a perception check too because you're there.
14.
Oh, so okay. Dorothy's like birds, and Captain's like, there are wild beasts afoot. There are some very possibly dangerous wild beasts afoot. Your animal instinct is definitely raised.
What kind of trees are these? Are these the apple trees?
There are trees. There are no apples on these trees.
I don't know. The birds kind of fell silent. That's usually indicative that there's a predator nearby. I know this because I've got great animal handling skills.
There you go. Yes, you do. You grew up on a farm, after all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is kind of scary. But I don't see what else we can do but keep on going forward.
Yeah, and you want to take it from here?
Pounce!
Pounce!
Oh! Roar! I'm going to eat you. I hate that.
And I leap about 20 feet in the air, and I'm just hanging there.
Oh
Flat
my!
Why? So that makes sense.
It's a lion.
Ah!
And I'm gonna try and gather up Toto and
Yeah, Toto definitely is frightened and lets you do that.
yep. And step back from her. From it. What wild beast is before me?
I am the king of the jungle.
Can I try swoop down and grapple?
Sure.
Well, I just sort of swooped down, but I didn't really grapple. 3.
So you got to miss. So the lion, you feel kind of a breeze and look up and you see a flying monkey dart past your head. At the last second, it seems like it changed its mind about trying to put its talons in you. But yeah, it kind of like just buzzed by you.
Chickens have talons?
Oh, I don't know. That's a great point. I guess not, huh?
It's magic.
Monkeys.
Huh. That's interesting. I don't know why I thought of that. Maybe because I've been playing a druid and turned into a giant eagle a lot of times. The supermarket. So
Well, I guess you could say I flew by and smacked him on the head a little, and
there you go. Tugged on your
Really
mane,
grab him.
got your attention.
So how would a cowardly lion respond to that?
Giant bats.
Oh my gosh.
Shame on you. You're a bully. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I'm just a lion. Everybody thinks I'm supposed to be all brave. And I'm not. Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. Well, but I don't understand. Why aren't you brave? You're the king of the jungle, right?
Because they forgot to give me courage when I was born.
No courage. Well,
No courage at all.
this monkey and I are headed to the Wizard of Oz in the Emerald City so that I can get home. And I'm not sure what this monkey really wants, but I kind of killed his master.
His
So
boss. Mhm.
yeah. So I feel like I've got to get him somewhere safe. Maybe if you come with us, the wizard would give you courage.
Well, that would be grand. But can you keep me safe on the journey? I'm really afraid.
I get it. I can help. I can help bolster your courage. And the good witch Glenda is looking after us a little bit from her bubble, so we should be okay.
To Oz and to gain courage.
Well, then let's proceed further down the yellow brick road.
We're off.
Follow,
We're
follow.
off to see the wizard. Wizard of Oz. Wonderful. This was. Yeah, I don't remember all the words.
That was pretty close. If ever there was, because.
Because of the wonderful things he does.
Very
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
good. So you proceed further down the path. And now you come to a grove of trees that has apples on it.
I would like to collect as many apples as will fit in my basket.
All right. As you do that,
I'll
You hear-
scramble up the tree and start throwing apples down.
you hear a tree in protest say, "What are you doing? Why are you taking things off of me? How would you like it if somebody just came up and took something off of you?"
Well, my goodness, I didn't realize, sir. We were just so hungry. And I need something to be able to throw at people. I figured you've got so many wonderful apples. Maybe you could just give us some of yours.
You want an apple? Here's an apple. And he takes one and he throws it at you. You're as bad as that Tin Man that rusted over there. Always trying to chop us down. Good riddance on him. Got what he deserved.
Good riddance. What got what he deserved? What did you do, you evil little gnarled tree?
He tried chopping us down. Nothing. He just sat out in the rain too long. Idiot.
Well, that sucks. I would like to again gather up all of, well, I don't need to talk to you anymore. I'm gathered up all of my apples. He said there was a Tin Man around here. That's kind of cool. I've never seen a Tin Man before. Should we? I want to go look and see if I can find this thing.
Sure. Roll a perception check.
I'm just dumb as a stump.
I got an 18.
Oh, yeah. It's a good thing you have a monkey with you. So the
Yeah.
monkey is like Tin Man.
Tapping on the metal.
Ding ding. Yeah, you hear a faint dunk dunk dunk, kind of a hollow sound, which you can follow.
My, he's pretty. He's all shiny. I would like to look around the area around the Tin Man, and I'm
Sure.
gonna pick a different die and maybe we get better luck.
Right, investigation check.
There we go. 17.
Oh, how about that? You see a very small oil can laying not far from him.
Okay, so I grab the oil can and I start squirting in all of his joints.
Hmm. He comes to life and says, "Thank you. I've been frozen here for I don't know how long.
Oh,
I'm just trying to cut down that tree over there, and it started raining, and And then this happened to me.
Well, that's awful.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Tin doesn't rust.
So what's your name?
They just called me the Tin Man. I don't really know. Do you have a name for me? That'd be fine.
Tim?
Tim?
Tim.
Some call me Tim. You got it.
Tim? Tell me more about yourself.
I have an axe, and I've been a woodsman for my entire life, and I got to tell you, I really just wish I were a human being. I really just wish I had a heart.
No heart. That must be dreadful.
It is. It's absolutely horrible. If I could feel that emotion, but unfortunately I can't. So I imagine it's horrible. But since I don't know what that's like, I've always wanted to know.
Hey,
What's it
Lion.
like?
Hey, Lion, Mr. Monkey, do you think maybe the wizard could get this Tin Man a heart?
Roar! Well,
I do
if
the
he
little
can
monkey
get
dance.
me courage, then I bet he has a heart in his storage bin that he can bestow upon the Tin Man, Mr. T.
Well, Mr. Tin Man, like, we're going to see the Wizard of Oz. Would you like to come with us, and maybe the wizard will give you a heart?
I'm trying to do a Mr. T voice.
Pitiful!
Well, I ain't doing nothing over here, so I guess yes, I'll follow you.
Wonderful.
Anybody got a gold chain?
No, but we could maybe gold plate you.
I bet he could do
That'll be
that.
just fine. My prediction is pain from Rocky 3. So yeah, so you guys have another companion and continue down the road full of apples. Your basket now is full of Toto and apples. And you guys are all prancing, singing, lovely, having a great grand old time. Yeah. It's just delightful day. Just a beautiful spring day. Now you're back to that kind of flower-covered countryside. And very small off in the distance, you can see that there's a crossroads. And at the crossroads, there's a gate. And you see a human figure that seems to be attached to a post. And as you approach in your vision, it becomes larger and larger.
I wonder which way we're supposed to go.
Well, some people go that way.
Some people go that way.
Some people go both.
Wait a minute. Did you just move? You did.
I did.
Wait, and you spoke? I keep forgetting I'm not in Kansas anymore. Who are you?
Well, I'm Scarecrow. Who are you?
Well, if you please, my name is Dorothy Gale, and I'm from Kansas.
Gale. That's a wonderful last name. Is that also like a synonym for wind or Oh, I get it now.
A hominin?
Uh-huh.
Simile.
I'm afraid of
have brain.
homonyms.
I have a thesaurus, but I have no brain.
No brain? Well, how do you think?
I
Never thought about it.
don't know. My head's just full of straw.
Your head's just full of straw.
I wish I had a brain.
I
Well,
wish I had a heart. I wish I had some courage.
well, I've got a witch mad at me, but we're headed to see the wizard in the Emerald City.
Oh, you want to go this way? Yeah, I ain't afraid no witch. I don't have the
You're
brain
not
to be afraid.
Okay, cool. Good,
Yeah.
good.
Let's go.
He might be able to get you a brain.
Awesome. That would be just golly gee whiz. That would be just fine.
But will
He
he
does
still
a
get
little
me my
spin.
courage? Is he still
What?
getting me my courage? I'm
Absolutely.
A lion
scared.
without
Absolutely.
courage? I've never heard of such a thing. Of course, I've never met a lion before either.
Rawr.
Well, he's not like other lions. He's actually kind of funny.
I am the king of the jungle. Arr.
All right, so you said that we were supposed to go. Wait a minute.
Yeah, this way.
You're stuck up here. How do we get you down?
Oh, yeah. Could you help me off this pole?
Sure.
Thanks.
Tell me what to do.
All right. I don't think it's going to take much. Roll a strength check. Roll better than a 5.
Ooh, nat 20.
Oh, how about that? So you deftly, very deftly and gently lift the scarecrow single-handedly off of the pole, and now he's forever your best friend.
You guys are the best friends anybody ever had. And it's funny, I feel as though I've known you all the time.
It's not strange. Sort of feeling of deja vu. All right, down the path you go. And as you go down the path, you can see a faint green glow on the horizon. As you get closer, you can see spires, towers, all of them in a kind of like translucent screen, like something like this.
Oh my.
Yes, yes.
I'm afraid.
Don't be afraid. It's just a city. It's just a pretty green city. We've never seen one like it, but that doesn't make it bad.
But they probably don't like lions. They'll probably eat me.
They won't eat you. I won't let them. I'll give them my apples instead.
Okay, Dorothy. You're the
Wicked
bomb.
witches are green too, says the scarecrow.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if she was originally a good witch from the Emerald City.
We should ask Glenda.
Yeah.
Or maybe the monkey.
Or
Roll
maybe
an Arcana check.
Ooh, nat 20.
Well, you would know. How would you want to communicate that? If you want to communicate that.
Could I communicate that? I guess sort of nodding in affirmative. When she said,
So
wonder if
she
she
did
was
used
good.
to be a good
She
witch.
was once.
Yeah. That's a shame. Maybe we can get her to change back.
Yeah, the Tin Man says, maybe we could appeal to her kinder instincts. I know if I had a heart, I would have compassion for all things. I'm sure that somewhere deep down, the scarecrow says, nah, once a witch, always a witch.
Monkey seemed to agree.
Well, I guess we're not making tracks here. Let's keep
Something made
moving
her break
forward.
bad.
Great. So you come up to the gates of the Emerald City, and there's a door with a bell, a doorbell, and it also has a giant knocker as well. There doesn't seem to be any perceptible way in.
Let's ring the doorbell.
Ring the bell. Okay. Ooh. So you ring the doorbell, and a small door opens about 6 feet off the ground, and out pops this very curious looking man, all dressed in emerald green, with a very large curly mustache, and he says, Who rang the bell? Who rang the bell?
If you please, sir. I did.
Can't you read the sign?
What sign?
He looks out the window, he looks around, closes the door, opens the door, puts a sign out, says, use knocker, closes the door.
I guess we better use the knocker then.
So you use the knocker.
I'll hit the knocker.
He opens the door. Well, that's more like it. What can I do for you?
Well, if you please, sir, we're here to see the wizard.
Nobody sees the wizard. Nobody, no way, no how. Nobody sees the wizard.
Well, but Glinda, the good witch of the north, she sent us here because I'm looking to get back home to Kansas, and the cowardly lion here needs courage, and the Tin Man needs a heart, and the scarecrow a brain, and I still don't know what the monkey really wants, but I'm sure
Monkey
he
needs a
wants
family.
a family. Okay. I bet you we can find you a family inside.
Well, you got sure needy. Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, that I decided I had because it's charisma. So that makes it 12.
Well, that's a horse of a different color. Come on in. And he like opens the door with no fanfare at all. So you see the giant doors open, and you actually see a horse that changes colors every 5 seconds, leading a sort of a like an open carriage, and you're invited to pile in if you wish.
Let's pile in.
All right. So the greeter gets onto the I forget what it's called, the platform where you would like hold the reins, and takes the horse, and he says, "I'll take you to see the wizard, but you might want to freshen up first." And would that be something you'd be interested in before you see the wizard?
Sure, we're a little bit draggled and a little tired. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, the cowardly lion has knots in its mane, and the the monkey's wings, or the feathers, are a little bit out of place. So so they take you to the what's called the Emerald City Deluxe Spa, and looks like you're going to get the royal treatment.
Don't touch my whiskers. Leave my tail alone. I'm afraid you're going to hurt me.
I promise, getting your hair cut doesn't hurt.
Well, for me, because I'm afraid it hurts too much. Ow, you're hurting me. Ow.
I had some trepidation the first time I got a pedicure, but boy, was that a great experience. I would do that anytime. So, yeah.
Lions probably don't want their nails done, though.
Lions might not want their nails clipped.
Yeah.
Maybe sharpened.
I want them painted black.
Very goth.
A goth lion, I love it.
Feeling all cleaned up, prettier now.
Yeah, you get a little red bow in your hair, and Dorothy gets a red bow in her hair, and the monkey gets a red bow in its hair, and I don't know, they ran out of bows for the scarecrow and the Tin Man, but anyway, he's nice and shiny. Scarecrow's thicker than he's been in a while. He looks like he's gained some weight. They restuffed him with some fresh straw, so he's pretty happy about that. All
Boy,
right,
you look skiffy.
you're off to see the wizard. So you get back into the carriage, and they take you to another great door, and you are to be announced to the wizard. So the door opens. There's another greeter who looks similar to the first one and says, "Who comes to see the wizard? What is your business here?"
Well, if you please, sir, my name is Dorothy Gale, and I'm from Kansas. And I've come all this way to speak with the wizard so that he might be able to help me get home. And my friends here all have something they need too, be it courage or a heart or a brain or a family.
I'm going to pantomime that, how she came in, killed my boss.
Pantomime.
The only family I've known.
All right, let's see it. See the pantomime.
Pantomime of that.
Yeah.
Just...
I think I understand. And he closes the door and tells you he'll return in a moment. As you're waiting, the Cowardly Lion sings a song, and then he returns. And Anne, do you want to sing the song? Or...
Where is that one? That the
Yeah.
song? We're off to see the wizard. We're
Oh,
off
no.
to see the wizard,
That'll work.
If I were
the
king,
wonderful Wizard of Oz. Because of the wonderful things he does. Can I get some courage, please?
Suddenly the door opens and the man that you had formerly been talking to says, "The wizard is very busy. Go away."
oh no, but I've come so far. I dissolved into a puddle, a sobbing puddle. I'll never see Auntie M again. And Professor Marvel had said that she was sick. Oh, this is awful. Whatever am I going to do?
Roll a persuasion check, perhaps.
Ooh, 18.
Oh, now he's crying in empathetic tears. I once had an MTM as well. No, please just come in. I'll figure out a way, somehow I'll get you in to see the wizard. And he opens the door so you can all come in. You see this grand hall in front of you that's probably 50 feet tall, 20 feet wide, with emerald stones that are for the floor and emerald glass for windows and sides. Very cathedral-like, very Gothic. And you proceed down the hallway towards a small room. Small entrance, and then a large circular room. And you see before you a figure, almost like a hologram in green, and flames spurting out from the sides. And the figure says, "I am Oz, the great and powerful. Who comes before me?"
There's no reason to scare me like that.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of cowering.
Yeah. Sir, if you please, my name is Dorothy Gale. I've come to ask for your help in getting home, and my friends here all have things that they want to ask you too. Would you help us?
"I am great and powerful. Of course I can help you. What is it that you wish from me?"
Well, like I said, I want to get home to Kansas. Cowardly Lion?
I want some courage.
And Mr. Monkey?
Well, how would I show that? Basically I'm going to pantomime sort of the group of all of us here, and I want my command back. You know, it's like I want to belong somewhere again.
Mm.
Good. Gotcha. Oz says, "I can grant you all of these things, but I need a show of faith first. Bring me the broomstick of the wicked witch of the West, and I will grant you all your wishes."
Oh no. That's going to be very hard. Are you sure you don't want to just help us?
"I am a quest giver. No matter how many times you ask me this, I will say exactly the same thing until you comply."
Okay. Great, guys. Well, do we know where she lives?
"She lives
Bet
in a
the
great castle upon a hill."
Bet the monkey knows.
Oh, that's true. I bet the monkey does know.
Yeah, monkey sort of.
Okay, well, all right, Mr. Monkey, I guess you better lead us.
Very good. Off you go. And the doors close behind the wizard.
Well, I guess I take us down and start leading us. Although it is a little confusing because normally we fly. And I can't carry all of you.
That's
But I
true.
can motion in the general direction.
But somebody was strong enough to lift Dorothy. So,
Yes.
you guys are pretty strong. But you can't probably carry.
Two of them. It took two of
Can't
them.
carry all of you.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That is very true.
But I can motion in the general direction that we have to go.
All right, so let's toddle on off and follow
Yeah, the yellow brick road at this point turns into black flagstones, and it's still similar looking, but it's definitely not the yellow brick road anymore. Yeah, it starts
Like it
going
ran
through
out.
some really interesting looking countryside, fallow fields, dark black trees, gnarly trees, and in the distance you can see a crag on a hill, and there's a very winding, steep cliff path that leads up to a drawbridge.
What do you think? Should we go up?
Yeah, I'm gonna motion you up,
Okay.
and I'll go lead the way to the drawbridge.
All right. As you approach the drawbridge, you can see, wow, 20, 20 armed men in kind of hussar looking, almost Napoleonic uniforms with large, pointy looking sticks, halberds, I guess you would call them, pikes. That seems to be their primary weapon, that are about 6 feet long. The soldiers seem to be about 6 feet tall. They're marching in melodic unison. Looks like they're doing parade formation exercises. Exactly. So they seem to be blocking your entrance to the open drawbridge, but the drawbridge is open.
Hmm.
What time of day is it?
It's dusk.
And I assume that we're hiding and kind of looking down and surveying the season.
You can hide if you like. Yeah, you do a stealth
Mm,
check.
15.
Ugh, that's awful. 2.
Cool. So how did you want to take cover?
Um, I just wanted to duck down.
Okay. So yeah, you can duck down. You seem to realize that any movement that you're going to make, because you're wearing these iridescent red shoes, is going to probably attract attention. So yeah, so this if you approach any further, you're pretty much you're concerned that you might give away your position.
What do you think, team? Anyone else got any ideas?
Well, I've scooted up into a tree. And as far as I know, at 15 on stealth,
No problem.
being noticed.
You do it without moving any branches or anything like that.
Could try sneaking in.
You
I
say
just
you
come
want
into mind sneaking in.
you want you're just saying that you could try sneaking.
Yeah, we could try
Okay.
sneaking in.
Mr. Monkey, would you mind?
Or I could.
Yeah, could you maybe sneak in and get us some uniforms?
Could probably do that. Or it's sort of okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to sort of fly in over top of the guards.
Sure. Do an athletics check for the flying in. And then I'll do a
19.
yeah, no problem. So you're physically able to do that. I rolled a collective 4 for the guards' perception. So you just happen to time it at a moment when the guards are doing one of their pirouettes
What
in
was
their
that?
musical routine, which they're very proud of. They seem to be very good at it. And you know, I'm sure being a guard is boring and you have to occupy your time somehow. So dance routines, not a bad way to stay fit. And you know, good for morale. So you get inside the gate. No problem.
So is this kind of a guardhouse then?
Yeah, so right inside the gate, there's kind of an area, an anteroom. There's a staircase going up. Off to the side, there are 2 rooms that you can see the doorways are open, and it looks like one's maybe like a mess, where they communally eat, and then the other one seems to be a barracks where they seem to sleep.
I'm gonna go definitely into the barracks.
Okay.
And, as long as it's empty, no one around.
There's nobody in the barracks. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and start rifling through lockers.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Don't forget,
One.
don't forget to find a uniform that has a place for my tail.
You roll
I
a
rolled a
one.
1. Investigation.
I rolled a 2. Yeah, so you're looking and looking and looking. You can't seem to find anything that's
No extra uniforms.
not human sized, extra uniforms, and nothing like that. So
Well, I'm gonna make my way down to the laundry then.
oh, okay, very good. Yeah. Roll a stealth check.
See if there's anything in the laundry.
Mm-hmm.
God, 3. Well, I'm getting
Were
rid
you
of that
flying
dice.
down to the laundry, or you ambling?
Ambling, I would say.
Okay, yeah. So you lose your footing a little bit on the steps, and make a noise. A guard who's similarly dressed to the ones outside approaches you. Says, "Monkey, what are you doing down here with us? Shouldn't you be up in the witch's chamber?"
And I'll just sort of acknowledge him and tip my hat and scurry off in the direction.
Oh, so you're wearing your
of the
hat?
witches.
He recognizes your rank and he says, "Oh, Captain,
Captain.
very good. Very good to
So
see you."
I acknowledge, shake his hand, do all kinds of monkey stuff like that, and scurry off.
Yeah,
Scurry
no
off in
problem.
the direction.
You get past him, and yeah, you don't think you arouse his suspicion. So you're going towards a laundry, you said?
Yeah.
You go down a staircase and go ahead and roll another investigation check.
Big money, no whammies.
Try not to roll a 1.
Whammy.
You rolled a 1 again?
I won. Yes.
Roll again.
Yeah, there's no extra uniforms. Seems to be a very efficient operation here.
One set of uniforms.
Everybody gets a uniform and that's it.
Perhaps, is table talk allowed?
Yeah, you can meta if you want.
Meta moment. Perhaps the monkey could lure 3 guards that we could then fight back
I was
to
thinking that would be the next thing.
us. Okay.
To sort of
Cool.
well, it's a drawbridge, you said, right?
Yeah.
Is there ever a point in time where only a few are walking across the bridge?
Roll
Or is it the whole crew going back?
yeah, roll your, I guess, what would that be? Like that would be just give me a D20.
Mhm. Come on.
Not the
There we go,
loaded one
17.
that always gets the ones. Use a different
17. I picked a different
17.
one this
Yeah,
time.
so
There
you
we go.
seem so you know enough, you remember enough about procedures at your castle that you would think that at the Wicked Witch of the West's castle, they probably would have similar procedures. And yes, there is a time not too long from now when they would raise the drawbridge and leave a token guard outside, and everyone else would come back indoors. So
All right. So I'm gonna make my way back to Dorothy and just no clothes. And how convey to just stay put. We should just stay at this here for what, like an hour, you say?
I don't even think. It looks like the formation's starting to break up. This guy's getting tired. You know how it is whenever you practice a routine over and over and over again. It becomes a point where there's diminishing returns. So it looks like the dance hour's over, and they're gonna clean. They're They're gonna go get some grub. So
Gotta
they
finish their
start
video.
to march in one by one, no, two by twos, and go across the drawbridge. And it looks like there are two guards that are left behind on this side of the drawbridge, and then the drawbridge is raised.
Tin Man would probably be best. So I'm gonna tink tink and get his attention and
Yes.
get Tin Man's attention.
What can
to
I do
follow
for you?
me?
Okay, the Tin Man follows you with his axe in
And
hand.
I'm going to flutter up and down on the other side of the two guards behind them, basically.
Behind them?
Behind them so that they're turn around to confront me or see me.
Okay, yeah. What do you want to roll? I mean, what kind of check are you thinking? Like you want surprise, or do you want,
Surprise, yeah, be a
Surprise.
surprise thing. So maybe a stealth thing or
yeah, that sounds like a stealth check to me.
good lord.
The lion's pretty
But I
powerful.
have a dexterity bonus.
Oh, there you go.
So okay, so it's like 4.
Are you rolling a D20 or a D4?
It's a nasty one. Gotta find one that rolls hot. There we go. That one's a little better.
So these two guards like watch you like land behind them, and they both kind of turn like,
And at that point, I'm hoping
Yeah?
that Tin Man takes advantage and just
okay, so you let out a little screech of like alert, and then the Tin Man comes up with his axe and kind of hooks the legs of one of them and drops him to his to prone. So one's down, and there's one standing looking directly at you.
Well,
The
then I
lion
guess
could step in.
Hmm?
The lion could step in and thump him from behind too. The lion's pretty
but
powerful.
that's scary.
The lion would have to roll a willpower like check. So I would say roll one of your 20-sided dice and tell me what you get.
That guy?
Yeah, well, no, not that one. This one.
Nope.
There should be a lot of teens on it.
All right.
Largest number would be 20.
17.
Right on.
17. So you rise to the occasion. You realize that this has to happen. So you're not afraid.
I'm not afraid.
You see an opportunity.
Get the guard and I'll steal his uniform.
Okay.
I attack and I bite him on the nose.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, he doesn't like that.
He doesn't like my biting him on the nose. And
No, not at all. He takes
He
his
tries-
pike.
Guards
He
take
tries
it
to
from
fight
that.
back.
defend himself.
I get him.
You get him. All right.
Arr.
He's gotten really good. In fact, he passes out. He's so afraid.
He does.
Yeah.
Then he falls off the bridge.
Oh,
Well,
so
no, not until we get his clothes.
Oh, okay.
so you hurl him off the bridge. You hurl his naked body off the bridge, is what you're saying.
That's pretty scary.
This is ruthless. Okay. And then do you do the same with the other guard?
Well, other guard's still awake, right? So, good
Yeah.
sir, if I might suggest, would you just give us your clothes and toddle off?
Or we'll feed you to the lions.
Roll a
I point to the
intimidation.
cowardly lion.
I think that would be an intimidation check almost.
Mhm.
Oh, not persuasion?
Or you could use persuasion if you want.
Oh, 8.
I'm thinking like the Terminator. Your clothes, give them to me. Wash day, nothing to wear. Wash day, nothing to wear. Your clothes, give them to me.
Does an 8 convince him?
No. No, he swings his pike at you actually.
How rude.
Yeah.
He swings his pike at me.
Yeah. Roll to evade.
Roll to evade.
Roll like a dexterity check.
I'm scuffling and my feet keep knocking together. as if
Ah,
I'm, uh,
3 times perhaps?
I wish I was
yeah.
home.
What did we get? 10. What am I trying to do?
Well, you successfully, a 10 will be enough dexterity to knock your heels together 3 times. What happens?
I don't understand why or how, but I all of a sudden am 10 feet away from this dude.
So the guy swings his pike and goes right through the spot where you were, which is a good thing because he rolled a really nice attack roll. And yeah, he would have hit you. So but you blink into like wherever, some other dimension, who knows? And then
Just
boom.
behind him, or yeah.
Yeah, you're 10 feet away suddenly. Instantly.
Hmm.
So he
Someone else needs to take a
So
whack
I
at
guess
it.
he has to roll like a dex saving
he's
throw to see if
impressed.
he falls down. He doesn't fall down, but he's definitely off balance. The Cowardly Lion is right there next to him. The Tin Man is next to him as well. The monkey is next to him.
Well, if no one else is gonna, I'll jump on him.
Okay, you just want to like grapple him, jump
Yeah.
on him. Just what do you want to do? Knock him over? Or?
Yeah, I think.
Okay,
15.
yeah, that's enough to knock him to the ground.
Cue the Cowardly Lion.
Cowardly Lion.
Since he's knocked down, I'm going to pounce on him and beat him with my tail.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, tickle him and beat him with my tail till he can't function or think anymore. And then we're going to steal his clothes.
Tasha's hideous laughter. So he's laughing uncontrollably, and at this preposterous circumstance, he's just seen someone blank into thin air and appear 10 feet away. Now he's being tickled about his face with a tail, and yeah, there's nothing that he's ever experienced before. So he's kind of delirious. Yeah. So
I
So
would
I
like to
take-
try to persuade him again to give us.
you
Now
can
that he's played
do it
me.
with advantage this time.
Okay. So that's 2. Wow. Ooh, 19.
Yeah, he's laughing and he's disrobing. He gives you his great coat, and he's takes his shako off, and he's just stop tickling me. Anything to stop tickling me.
Tackle, tackle.
No, I can't. No more, please. No more. Stop it.
Now,
And
so let
push
me
him off
ask
the
you,
bridge.
Mr. Guard. Mr. Guard, why are you working for this evil witch?
The pay's good.
It's a union job.
Is that all?
Yeah, there's benefits.
Well, if we got you a different job, would you be willing to maybe fight on our behalf?
Oh, roll a persuasion check.
3, 4. It was a nice try.
Give you inspiration for come up with the idea. Re-roll it.
Okay. Oh, 14.
Yeah, he says, maybe. What's in it for me?
Well, what is it you if you want a job, we're trying to steal the Wicked Witch's broom, and then we're gonna
Oh.
bring it back to the wizard. And so I bet we can get you a job in the Emerald City.
I might be able to help you with that.
And it's the Emerald City, so the pay's gotta be good, right?
I heard they have this awesome day spa there.
They do. We were there.
Oh, is that why you
God.
smell so good? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I
They
was
do
wondering
even-
why when I was being whipped with that tail, it was just such a velvety experience.
I show him my nails.
Oh my.
And my black nails.
Oh, whoa. That's really impressive. I'm not adventurous enough to go for black, but I've always been curious about the goth culture. So can we maybe, yeah, I'm in. Oh yeah, by the way, you threw my friend over the cliff, so I guess that's a bad alternative. I'm with you guys.
Well, he's just floating in the river.
Oh, is that all? Okay. Pretty
Unless it's a
steep
big
cliff.
gorge. Is it a
It
cliff?
was, yeah, it's a river, but it's like, you ever watch Wile E. Coyote cartoons? There's like a real tiny rivulet down there. Yeah, he missed the river. He landed in a puff of smoke.
He's,
Yeah, what's two murders in one day?
he's not
So,
going to climb out of a guard-shaped hole or something.
all right. So, what do you want to do? Yeah, you've got a guard on your side. Are you going to give him back his uniform?
Well, it occurs to me if we keep his coat
Mhm.
and
We
he,
have one.
he keeps his breeches and his shirt or whatever,
Mm,
you know what I mean? He can still be dressed.
you got
Most
two uniforms.
exactly.
Who's going to wear the other coat? Well, there's two coats now. Well, actually, there's a full uniform, right? And then there's a coat.
I get the coat
Oh, yes, absolutely.
because it has a split in the back for my tail.
It does. That would be very comfortable for you.
And the monkey
And my-
probably
and
doesn't
as-
need.
And as we've discovered, my tail is really important.
It's a weapon.
It's a weapon of tickle.
Little tickle monster. All right, so I did not expect that.
Some
No,
animals
that
have
was
murder.
clever.
Some animals have murder mittens. I have tickle tail.
Murder mittens.
Murder mittens.
I like that.
Tails.
I like that. All right, so this is all fine and dandy, but the drawbridge is up.
Well, but can't you get that open, Mr. Guard?
I can call to my the person who's manning the winch, but
Can the monkey fly over the wall
I
and
could.
man the wench himself?
oh, I see what you're saying. No, it's a solid wall. So yeah, you would definitely have to call for it to be open. Yeah. Now the monkey could fly like through a window, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. I'll go back.
Okay.
11.
Yeah, it's no problem for you. You can fly, it's like walking for anybody else. And then you find a small window that you can where do you want to go? Do you want to go to there's say 3 levels. You could go to the first level, which is where you would have presumed that the guard station was. There's another second level, and then there's a tower.
I don't imagine but I'm not that intelligent. Yeah, I guess I'll go to the tower.
Okay, so you fly up to the tower.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
Wouldn't the
you
wench
land.
be at the bottom?
What's that?
Wouldn't the wench be at the bottom?
I would think, but I'm not that smart.
Smart. Okay.
So you fly up to the tower,
Flying, you land at the perch, tallest point.
and you look into the window, and you can see this dark robed, green faced figure looking over a crystal ball, and saying in a very saying like this. Oh, that Dorothy is more trouble than she's worth. I can't wait to get my hands on her and get my sister's ruby shoes. She seems particularly obsessed with the shoes.
Ooh. Do I
Well,
happen? Okay, perception. And just going to look around the room.
Okay.
15.
You see all kinds of interesting, like pseudo-scientific objects. You see an armillary. You see very large, awesome-looking hourglass that has red powder in it, and lizards and snakes on the posts. You see what you presume to be a globe of the land of Oz, with a map of the land of Oz on it. You see potions on the walls. You see powders on tables of various grades and colors. You see a cauldron.
Any brooms?
What's that?
Any brooms?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
I'm just about to back out slowly, back out the window, and I notice a broom.
You do. You notice a broom. It's leaning up against the wall next to some glass it looks almost like laboratory equipment. It's on the far wall, though. You have to cross directly in the path of where the Wicked Witch is sitting and looking at her scrying glass. Everyone needs a good scry once in a while.
I would imagine she'll leave here anytime soon. Since it seems to be her room.
Yeah, there's like a really cool looking, it looks like it's a stone, carved out of stone, the chair, but it looks like it has this lovely red velvet cushions on it. So it looks probably like it would be the most comfortable chair in the house. So you would presume, even without being super, super intelligent, that would be a place where she would spend a lot of time.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying right now.
Well, we could risk it.
You could.
Just do how big is the room?
I'd say it's 10 by 10.
Oh.
It's not huge. It's
But
in a
she's
tower.
facing away from me at the moment.
Shh. So, okay, let's do this. Okay, well, this will be, okay, so the crystal ball's here. The Wicked Witch is here. You are a flying monkey. You could be a flying creature, or you could be a monkey.
Monkey's cool.
Monkey. Okay, so you're a monkey. So you're that's permanent marker. I don't want to make that mistake again. When I was teaching D&D at camp, one of the kids took a permanent marker, used it on my SX.
You know the trick with that?
Yeah.
Go over it with erasable marker.
Oh, thank you.
And then you can just wipe it off.
Oh,
Or acetone. Acetone.
Or acetone, but that's
so after this session, I'll show you what acetone did to my mat.
Oh, never mind.
yeah, that's
But it's a battle mat, so now it has a battle scar. So
it's like
fine.
water to the Wicked Witch.
Yes. Ah, interesting. So here's the window, right? Here's the room. Here's the broom.
Oh, so it's near me, but
No,
I'd be in
it's on
her
the
sight.
opposite side.
Yeah, you'd have to cross.
Oh, I see. I'm
the
sorry. I
room.
was looking at the red.
Yeah, you're over here.
Patrick,
Yo,
is that the sweeping view?
that's the top view. Top down.
The sweeping?
Oh, I can't believe I missed that. Thank you.
Oh,
Boom. It's a sweeping
well,
panorama.
we try deceiving her, but she probably recognized me as not one of hers. At any rate,
Yeah.
either persuasion or just charge around like Three Stooges. I'm debating. Do a Three Stooges. Fly around, grab it, fly back out the window. I think for the story, that would be fun.
All right. So roll a acrobatics check.
Because I think I came in the window, so it's up a little
Yeah, you're
bit.
on the ledge of the
A little bit
window
altitude.
right now. So you're gonna take off and fly around the room like some kind of,
Like a bat in the house, yeah.
yes, exactly.
oh, that's creepy when that happens.
Whoa.
Does that happen to you?
Oh, yes.
Nat 20.
What? What?
Finally. I finally Nat 20.
You have like two rolls. You have
Not
like
focusing. There
you
we
have
go.
a 1 and a 20. I love it. So you all right, do you want to describe what you do? You describe it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do like a sugar glider and just sort of, like a flying squirrel.
Mhm.
Only much bigger because I'm a flying monkey. And just sort of whoop, and swoop down around the edge, around the perimeter,
Mhm.
snag the broom,
Mhm.
and glide back up to the window.
Okay, you do that. I'm gonna roll a perception check, see if she spots you. She spots you, but she's looking at her glass, her crystal, and she looks up and she sees such a graceful flight from a monkey. She's never seen this before. She's used to them being like these kind of lumbering, kind of barely able to take flight. but you do this with such style and grace. You look like a condor, on the wind. And she's fascinated by it. But then she sees that you picked up her broom, and now she's rising to her feet. Guards! Guards! What are you doing with my broom? Guards! Guards! Now you're at the window.
I'm going to dive back out and glide down through the night to where we left Dorothy.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, you can hear. Actually, everybody roll a perception check.
Which
13.
dice is that?
Oh, just roll a 20-sided die.
9.
4.
13 for me. But
Okay, so the lion and Dorothy are on the ground and really don't hear anything. Toto's barking.
Woof, woof.
Yeah. And and the monkey can hear like there's commotion inside. There are definitely like you're aware of what a general alarm sounds like, and they're going to battle stations. So yeah, you can definitely tell that like there is commotion. But you can also tell, and from past experience that it's going to take them a certain amount of time to get ready, So you glide down to where where Dorothy and the lion are.
Waiting so long, I thought for sure you were captured. But what is this? You've got the broom?
Got the stick.
How on earth? I suppose the wizard only asked for the broom. He didn't say that we actually had to hurt anybody.
True.
Do you think that this is enough?
Or should we kill again? I'm sorry.
Dorothy's particularly bloodthirsty.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, have you ever heard that description of the Wizard of Oz? It says, farm girl from Kansas meets 3 friends and kills again. That's one way to describe the movie. That is true. It's not, but that's true.
Now we could lead this whole horde back to the Emerald City, and it would be a huge civil war going on. That would be kind of interesting.
Well, it's a good thing I prepared for that. I had to get all my figures out for that. All right, here we go. Here's a pawn. Here's another lion. Here's a giraffe.
What do we think, team? Do we think that the wizard's gonna? I mean, he literally did only say he wanted the
He
broom.
just said, "Get the broom."
The drawbridge is starting to open.
Let's beat it. Let's hide.
Beat it.
Beat it! I'm all for hiding.
Do we need to roll to find out if we're successful?
Give me let's see, what kind of check would that be? I don't know, just give me like a athletics check. So you guys are running, right? Presumably the monkey's flying.
Hopping and
19.
flying, and yeah.
Hmm? Yeah. Lions are fast.
17.
Yeah.
7.
Okay. So Dorothy, which was, would be appropriate, is not quite as fast as a lion or as a flying monkey. So she's kind of like, oh, she does.
The heels, it's hard to run in heels.
It is hard to run in heels. Yeah.
But your heels, Dorothy.
But heels are pretty good. They've worked in the past to good effect.
Oh, I suppose. Yeah, but I didn't know how I did that. I guess while I'm running, I'm
Clicking.
evidently brushing my feet against one another. We'll see if it happens. 3, it doesn't happen.
Well, it happens 3
You could
times.
try, but you
It
could
happens
try
exactly
again.
3 times, and as a result, the gist of what happens is Dorothy ends up at the gates of the Emerald City, waiting for you guys when you like arrive. You can see your friends coming down the yellow brick road from whence you came once before, and you can see the scarecrows kind of running like this,
And a
the
snarling
Tin Man's
mass
kind of
of,
clanking along
angry-
like one of those droids from Star Wars, and the flying monkey's way out in front, but he's kind of like looking back to like make sure that nobody gets left behind. There's a cloud, a very dark cloud of what you presume to be flying monkeys heading in your direction, and the and there also seems to be a mass of troops on the road, but there's some distance behind. So you're able to make it to the front gates of the Emerald City. What do you wish to do? The doors are not open.
Knock, knock, knock with the knocker.
You gotta use the knocker. The
Yep.
door opens. Well, it's you again. Oh, and I see you brought what is that? A broomstick?
It's the Wicked Witch of the West's broomstick.
Oh my! Well, won't the wizard be pleased? And then he looks up in the air and he sees, my goodness, what is that?
Yeah, can we just
It's
hurry
just a
this up?
mass of flying monkeys. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about them.
You like cast haste on yourselves, or so as the door slides open and he's looking, he gets to get a better look. He opens the door and he steps outside, and you guys are the door's open. You guys want to slide in?
Yes, please.
Oh yeah. Even before it opens all the way.
All the way.
We're all clambering through.
So you're just kind of forcing the door open.
And getting inside and pushing the door closed behind us.
Do you leave him out front? Or do you grab him and pull him
We'll
in?
grab him and pull him in.
Oh, okay. Very good. All right. Roll a strength check for me.
Ooh, 19.
Yeah, you're easily. He doesn't even know what happened. He's just like, whoa, what's going on? What were all those things in the air? I don't understand.
Don't look up.
Excellent movie reference.
Yeah.
All right, you're inside Emerald City again. It's for spa day.
Oh, that's the guard is still with us.
Yeah, the guard's with you right now.
Well, Mr. Guard, we're gonna go give this to the wizard, but the spa's right over there if you'd like to go check it out.
Get black fingernail polish.
Oh, that guard. Okay, I was thinking, yes. He's like one guard to another. Mind if I go freshen up? And so the other guard says, please, I'll show you what they did to my mustache. And they're talking about body hair and different procedures, loofahs and exfoliants and things of that nature. While you guys proceed to you know the way now. So you guys run, I presume, towards the entrance of the wizard's chamber. So in the anteroom, there's another person who's going to let you in. He sees the broomstick and says, "Oh my, we didn't really expect to see you again. I'll be right back." And forthwith, he eventually opens the door and says, "The wizard will see you now."
I grab onto the lion's paw to give him a little bit of courage as we proceed.
Let's go see the wizard. I want my courage, and Dorothy needs to go home, and the Tin Man needs a heart. And the monkey still needs a family.
Family or a force or something.
So so you go into the wizard's room again, and you see the holographic image of the wizard, and you see the billowing smoke and flames, and he says, "I see you've brought me something."
If you please, sir. And I step forward and I place the broom down on the floor. We've brought you the witch's broom as you've asked. As we've done as you told us. We brought you the broom of the Wicked Witch of the West.
So You can see that there's a at this point, you didn't notice before, but you can see that there's kind of a windowed ceiling. There's a skylight. And the wizard says, "You've not only brought me the witch's broom, but it seems you brought me the witch as well." And you can see in the sky, in black smoke, there's being written the words "Surrender, Dorothy," which do not have a comma between surrender and Dorothy, which I've always wondered, like, what did they mean? Who's she talking to? Surrender,
she's talking to
Dorothy?
the
Is she
wizard.
asking Dorothy to surrender, or is she asking everyone to give up Dorothy?
Mm.
Punctuation is important, people.
Yes.
That's my point. But either way, it says surrender, Dorothy, and you see a cloud of a flock of people who look just like your captain, kind of coming down towards the ceiling, the glass ceiling. So you've not only brought me the broomstick, but you brought me the Wicked Witch and her minions as well.
Well, that's just bonus.
Package deal.
Extra credit.
Very well. So at this point, Toto rolls a perception check and sees a fluttering curtain. You're attracted by what Toto sees. He grabs onto the curtain and pulls it aside, and there's a human being there at a very large control center. And you can see that as he speaks into a microphone, the image corresponds. The theatrical image corresponds. And now it's all starting to come together.
Why, you're no great wizard. You're just a human.
It's a fake.
It's a fake.
We'll
Yes,
start-
right. But just hang on one second. I have something to do here. Before I'll attend to you in a moment. And then he presses a couple buttons, and several emerald green missiles like launch into the air above the Emerald City and explode with this green glass shrapnel. And all of the creatures that were in the air, including the Wicked Witch, just suddenly plummet out of the sky. He said, "Okay, now I'm sorry. What were you saying?"
Wow. Okay. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe you are a great wizard. You
Yeah, I had
shrunk
that installed
a lot.
last year just in case, because you never know with witches. You just can't be too sure. Best to dust off, nuke the site from orbit. Best way to be sure.
That's the arsenal there.
So yeah, that's right. You wanted courage. Well, you had courage all the way along. You just were mistaking wisdom for courage. Sometimes it's okay to be scared. Sometimes that's just, you ever heard discretion is the better part of valor?
Mm.
No, but I'm feeling a lot more courageous.
I think you did pretty well, actually. And here, to show you that I recognize that, I bestow upon you this enormous medal. Probably weighs about 15 pounds. If you want, I can attach it to your fur. But it looks like you just had like a really nice spa treatment. So I don't want to, ruin your look. I'll put it in a case for you. You can carry it around with you. Yeah, okay. It's like jewelry.
Jewelry.
Yes.
Lions like
Lions.
jewelry.
Lions like jewelry. Yes, they do.
Lions like jewelry.
Little lion bling going on.
Yes.
Wow, lion bling going on.
And the Tin Man and you, Scarecrow. Yeah, we got you taken care of. So that leaves the monkey and Dorothy. So
A new command would be nice.
a new command. Well, I'll tell you what. It seems like there's a bunch of pikemen that are going to be like running towards the front door over here. I don't know, unless they were demoralized by the anti-aircraft fire. So you could probably go ahead and check that out here. And he gives you a rank of captain of the guard, and says, "We'll see how you do on your first
Put on
mission."
the hat and
Yeah, put it on the hat.
put on the hat and scurry off.
All right, and that leaves Dorothy. What, Dorothy? What did you want again? I forgot.
Oh, sir, if you could ever please, I just want to go home to Kansas.
Go home. You could have
That's
gone home
Pittsburgh.
any time. Didn't Glenda tell you this? All you had to do
No.
was click your heels together. Gosh, she's just so forgetful.
Is that why I kept moving all over the place and didn't realize?
Yeah. You wait, how many times did you do that?
I did that twice.
Oh, thank God. You have one charge left.
You mean the shoes are magic? Magic shoes?
Technology, magic. Yeah, it's like magic. It's science. It's like magic, but it's real.
Uh, well,
So anyway, yeah, I mean, as soon as you're ready, just click your heels together 3 times and think of home.
it's gonna be
In fact,
so hard to
sometimes chanting a
decide.
mantra, like there's no place like home, that sometimes that helps to focus like the locality.
Go,
Okay.
Dorothy.
What?
Go, Dorothy.
Oh, it's gonna be so hard to say goodbye to all of you. And I go and I give the Cowardly Lion a hug and the Tin Man, and I pet the monkey nicely, and I go to the Scarecrow, although he wasn't really a player in this. I think I'll miss you most of all. All right, say goodbye, Toto. And I close my eyes up tight. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. 1, 2, 3.
Poof. And then suddenly everything's in black and white, and you have the worst hangover of your life, and you can't quite figure out why. You've cotton mouth, and yeah.
Annie M. Annie M. I how did I get here?
Well, you ate this mushroom omelet, and you went out and you foraged for these wild mushrooms, and we made an omelet out of them. And I got to tell you, whew, I had weird dreams last night too. So
It wasn't a dream. This was real. And you were there, and you were there, and you were there.
yeah, let's just never eat those mushrooms again. I
Okay.
think. Okay. And happily ever after. The end. Fade to black.
Ta-da!
Ta-da.
That was
I still
fun.
have this canteen full of water I never got to use.
Hmm.
Oh,
Oh, right.
yes.
The attack never happened. That's D&D, like you plan for certain things, it just never quite happened.